Hey guys, Sean here. Today's an awesome video. We got to play the new map Lotus, and man, I think it's the most complex map in Valorant today. It has so many cool aspects to it. I'm curious what you guys think, but let's leave that till the end. Let's hop straight in right now. There's 3 sites, 2 revolving doors, 1 breakable door, and although the map looks big, it's about the same width from here to here as Haven. So this distance is 120 meters, this ping to this ping, and Haven, the max distance is like 110. So it's about the same distance as Haven, but there's a lot of differences when it comes to Haven. So let's just hop right in, okay? So this is the A site, and as you can see, coming out of Defender spawn, both entrances are elevated. So you're looking down into this A site on retakes. Should make things pretty easy to retake. And this is also interesting because once you fall down, you can't get back up unless you have a movement ability, like a jet up trap, an omen TP, a ray satchel. You need something to get up here. Otherwise, you have to use the rope. Normal plebs like Killjoy, ropes. This looks a lot like the tube on Bind. It's called the hut on your map right here. But something I quickly noticed, wow, this feels a lot like I'm playing inside the tube because on my left is something like Hookah and on my right is something like Long B on Bind. The difference being is that when you go into Hookah, it's actually a giant tree and a revolving door. So these revolving doors are the first gimmick of the map. As you can see, when you click the button, they revolve around 1 time. You could go through either side. You can loop around, you can fake it. It's super loud. When you open it, the image is shown on your mini map for the entire server. So I'll open it. I'm gonna run. You can still hear it from way over here. And you saw the image on my map. And I thought it was interesting that that image on your mini map is shown even when the other team uses this door. Something to note about the door is it breaks utility. So you can see I put my entire kit here as Killjoy. The door revolves and boom. And Nanostorm's gone. And turret's dead too. It's gonna break anything you put in it that can be destroyed, right? If an enemy can shoot it, this door can break it. Poor Killjoy, just when she thought she got away from all the util that breaks the lockdown, the door does not break it. That is the first gimmick. The second would be this door right here. So the link between A and B for defenders is this door, and you can see it takes a dozen bullets to break it, and it leads into the B site. So our first orb was here, and now we are in the B site. So very tiny site, claustrophobic, plant spots all down low. So this elevated platform up here, this is leading straight into defender spawn. There's not many hiding places in here. So kind of similar to like B site Haven feels, right? Where if a breach ult comes through, it can hit every area of this entire site. A fade ult, there's nowhere to hide. A Sova ult comes through here, you're probably dead if you're in the site and the first tag hits you. There's just nowhere to go. It's going to be like one of those scrappy sites or a mid-round site. Not a very good site to hit in a 5 versus 5, similar to B site Haven. Coming back through spawn now, you can see we're going back into spawn. So there's 2 entrances to B for defense, I guess for attackers in the post. So you can come through this way, or you can come through the first way we went. Let's go through the C-Link side. So C-Link side of B brings us to C. This is the other entrance from defender spawn. So you can see this is back by spawn again. Coming into C, the plant spots are all elevated. So the exact opposite of the B side over here, where you have to enter this elevated area in the C site through the water, where your footsteps are all uniquely different from this area out here. And this is the third orb. So the second one, which I haven't had time to show yet, is behind this revolving door. The second revolving door on the map. This door works in the same exact way as the A door, right? The image is shown, same loud noises. That's an overview of the map. Now let's restart the round and take a look at these barriers. What you're gonna notice right away is that the defense has 5 barriers. They're all very advanced into the map. You can see they almost all start halfway through the map, past the sites, obviously. So they're given a lot of ground on this map. Meanwhile, the attackers, they have 3 barriers, and they're all the way back by their spawn. This is what the devs intended. They wanted the attackers to have to work for these areas through tiny chokes. They have a lot of options, but they don't have a lot of space, right? So it's going to feel a little bit uncomfortable if you're not working together with your team. You're not coordinating things at the start of the round to take areas, react off of info from the defense. What is the defense taking? Okay, let's take another area of the map because it's likely significantly weaker. So you're going to have to make a push on defense to probably defend some of these things, to eliminate the possibilities for the attackers. And I think a key area of this map for that is going to be this long A position.
Time for a field test.
When we drop the barriers here, the attackers spawn right here. This orb is here. So you're right by the orb, but you're not just going to be able to grab this for free. There's going to be people that are going to contest this. Things you could do are one-way this, molly this, slow this, wall this. You can obviously breach aftershock this, but I mean, obviously neons can beat timings, jets can dash out. There's so many things that they can do in reverse. This will be where defaults are fought for the most part, in my opinion. I think there's going to be a lot of battles in this zone. Once the attackers win this area, things open up a lot for them because this door will be available to them then. Now attackers would have access to the door, which gives them an option to fall back into this B site. So say you're approaching A and you're like, oh man, one is in tree, one is in sight, and one is fighting us here. There's 3 people at A. Let's roll to like B or C. So then you roll through Link and you test out B. And theoretically, there should only be, 1 person here because 3 people A, 1 person B, 1 person C. You're getting good numbers as you move through the map. That's why this area is going to be super important for attackers to fight for, in my opinion. Think of Haven and think of A, B, and C on Haven. That's what this is like, right? The A site has a lot more opportunity for attackers. It's a lot more open space, less variance. It's easier to hold the site if you were to actually take it. Once you get control of A, you force a lot of rotates, and it makes the rest of the map easier to take. It bleeds utility out of the defenders. You could also say the same thing about the C site. The key difference is that this ground is really given to the defenders. If you want to fight for it, you can, but you don't gain a lot by getting it. And that's the key difference between the C ground and the A ground, where this barrier is going to drop. So the attacker barrier is here. My barrier is here. I'm going to get this line right here by the orb before they ever even close to me. You could turret this. You could one-way this. You could throw a KO knife on this wall. There's so many ways to make sure no one pushes you in the first couple seconds. You could just throw a flush smoke there and you can play mound. Omens can then TP back into the site. Razes could satchel back. Jets could dash back if they wanted to opt this area. This box is open for grabs. And if you ever wanted to, you could rotate through the map by opening the doors. Again, keep in mind the symbol is shown on the minimap for both teams though, so that is something to note if you were to do something like that. Even if the attackers were to get this ground, say the attackers did just spawn and they put a turret here, they smoked this, they darted the elephant, so they threw like a Sova dart there, they threw enough utility to control this ground. Well, that doesn't really get them much of anything other than this orb, because now they still have to come through this tiny choke into the C site where there's so many different angles, right? A sentinel setup here, a smoke agent like Viper, I think would dominate this C site. And keep in mind, you have to come up into this elevated area to plant the spike. It makes things a lot harder. It's not like you can just plant down here. You have to come all the way up unless you're jet, updraft dashing in, omen TPing in, satcheling in. I think those 3 agents are going to have some good play on this map, to be honest. And then looking at this B site, let's look at some options for the attackers over here. So say you're coming into this B site. This is the only orb where I think the attackers are heavily favored to get it. Heavily favored to get this orb. This barrier is going to drop by attack. I'm in attacker spawn right now. This barrier drops. The orb is right in front of my face. It's like calling to me. I just Just want to get it. What you have to keep in mind too is that this could easily be turned into a trap play for defenders, right? You can easily see like a fault line coming through this wall. If you jump on this side, you know, an aftershock could come in, and there could be a lot of foolishness around this orb. You know, defenders could smoke this and really play for this area. You know, you can Omen smoke that, paranoia through. You can put an alarm bot down for a trap play. But I think that will be like kind of a few and far between type thing for the defense. Because, like I said, I think this A area is the pivotal area of the map for probably both teams to be fighting for. You could see Omens. I think Harbor is going to get good play on this map. Astra could have good play. I don't know if Brim is a good choice for this map, but the post plant mollies and the mollies to slow down hits could prove to be valuable. Omen has some very good one-way opportunities available to him. So he can one-way that door. Obviously, it gets contested. You can blind it. He can one-way this door. If he feels a split coming in, he can one-way this. There's so many options available for Omen's one-ways that I think he could get some play here. Any of these revolving doors can be one-wayed, so like the one by tree. And then, like I said, I think someone to cut space and TP up to these elevated areas is insanely good. What we found successful in our 10-mans, I was playing a lot of Viper, and I would do walls similar to this, where I could wall off the orb by B, I could wall off the A main choke, control a huge area of the map. You can see the control with the wall. The orb would be down there, and if you were to contest long, you just bank mollies off of the wall for the run out, shut down any push that comes out of here. Again, I think this is so exciting. I love the map. My overall thoughts are, I love the map. I think there are so many possibilities as far as the agents that can be played here, how defaults could look, how pushes can look on defense. The fact that there's 3 orbs mean there's going to be more ults. And whenever there's more ults, things get more creative. And that's what gets me going. I really like the creativity when I watch these pro games. And this map is just going to be wild. There's so many intricacies to it with the doors, with the orbs, and 3 sites. It is very hard to envision how this map is going to play out. I'm going to keep making a couple more videos about agent comps and who I think could be strong here, who I think is weak here. I'm curious what you guys think. I think the map is gorgeous. I think it's going to be S tier in VCT, but I think it could be a very frustrating ranked map to play. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Be sure to like and subscribe to the video. Thank you guys so much. Peace.